Hey there, Alistair here, back in the workshop. Now, this just a quick video on regarding Loveless bolts. Now, I had a bit of a predicament where I was asked to build a knife and the guy requested brass Loveless bolts. Now, I assumed, as you always do, that I had brass bolts in stock. I've got this pot here full of different size ones. You got the 6.5 and then the 8mm. I assumed that I had brass inner, brass outer. This one here is stainless steel. Now, obviously the guy requested brass nut, brass bolt. So onto the internet, onto all the suppliers, and nobody had any in stock. And I kind of started scratching my head, what can I do, what can I do? So what I come up with was, I had this 7.8 or oh no, it says, what it says, actually it gives an imperial measurement on there, 5/16. There you go, 5/16 diameter or 7.94 millimeters. What I kind of thought was there must be a way, and I don't have a lathe. Now this is the most important bit. I do not have a lathe. How can we fix this problem? And so what I've come up with, I've got the brass rod, but we need to drill and tap the bar. So as you end up with that, which is the little nut there with the bolt. So you can see there's a hole right the way through it with a thread. I think it's about 4mm thread, or again metric. So I've got plenty of brass bolts. I've got a bag of them there. So, but no brass nuts. So what I've come up with is this technical, whatever you'd call it, innovation. So I'll take you over to the drill press and I'll show you what I have conjured up. Okay, so what we've got here. Now this is just like a little chuck. I think they're designed to go into like a cordless drill like that. So I had one of those laying around. And what I've done is epoxied it to this piece of aluminium here, which was flat, and then underneath you've got like a little hex head on there, which you just put a shifter on there, and you can tighten it up. But rather than spinning that round, you're just tightening up the little shaft underneath. So what we've got here, a center drill. That's what it's called. Now these aren't designed to be used in a normal chuck as such. What these are used on a lathe. So you'd put this into the fixed part of the lathe, and then the chuck would spin around this way, and then you'd bring the workpiece up to it, and then basically it kind of centers itself as it touches the workpiece, and then gives you the little tiny indentation, like a drill mark there, and then you can use that obviously to go to your drill bits. So what we need to do is find the center of the chuck. Let me just rotate that up a little bit. So we got the chuck here, and obviously on the drill press. So we need to line that and that up together. So what we do is we just pop that into there. So now we've got that locked off in the little chuck there. We need to bring this chuck down and line up with the two, basically line the two chucks up together. Now I've done this already, but you'd loosen these clamps off and then clamp this one, lock that one off on there. So that's now locked onto the drill bit. Tighten these clamps up here, and then obviously make sure your table of your drill press is locked off, and make sure that's obviously level as well. Make sure it's 90 degrees with the chuck. So then once you've got that lined up there, do these two clamps up, and then undo that, and you should find that this chuck is lined up with this chuck. Now we've got the little brass piece here, and I've cut that off, just cut it off on the bandsaw, and to get these ends nice and even like that, it looks like they've been done on a lathe, but they haven't. So put those into your drill press chuck, So there we've got it in there, the little brass piece, and then all I did was put this piece of emery cloth on the table. Turn the drill on, bring that down until it makes contact. So imagine that's on the table. Bring that down so it's in contact, and just press down on the drill press and move the paper every so often, and then you'll find that will machine the ends off nice and flat, and they'll end up looking like that, which is good because it almost gives you like a little center reference point in there as well where that's spun. So then all you got to do is put that back into your drill press. So try and get it up as far as you can, and then next part is for jerking around all over the place. I'm just using like a little plasticky tripod, which is not particularly steady. So there you can see the little drill bit. Now what I will do is start the drill up and then bring that down, and you'll see that will go into the center of the brass rod. It kind of self-centers into the hole that you're drilling. So I'll start this up. I won't say anything while I'm doing it. You probably can't. Well, I might be able to. I'll see. You might hear me, but this old drill press is a little bit noisy. But we'll fire it up and then bring it down. I'm going to literally just touch it a little bit, just so that it can find its center. The drill press aren't particularly good for the sideways motion. They tend to have a little bit of run out. Just go gentle and don't press too hard. Let it work its way into the center. And just gradually up until you hit that little shaft on the drill bit there. Take that out. Let's zoom back out again. There we go. So you can see the little drill mark in there. Okay, so I've got my 3.5mm drill bit in the little chuck there. I've got the little brass workpiece as such in the drill press chuck. So just make sure that they're up as far as you can. You can just see it poking out. I've got a pointing rod here. You can just see it poking out underneath there, and when you bring the drill press down, that lines up nicely with the center of the brass rod. Anyway, we'll fire this up and we shall drill through. Just got to let it cut its own way through. Try not to force it too much. Just release the swarf every now and again so it doesn't grab on the drill bit and snap it off. Go slowly, take it easy, no rush. Must be nearly through. Must be nearly through now. There we go. We're the right way through now. Alright, let's take that out. Probably a little bit warm, so just mind your fingers. Okay, so there you can see bored a hole right the way through there and out the other side. So all we got to do now is just run a tap through that and then cut it in half, and we're pretty much done. So you can see there it's nice and centered. The fact that if you use the little counter bore drill first, the center drill, you'll put that nice little divot in there, and then you can work to that with your bigger drill bit, and that seems to be the key of getting it nice and central. The bigger drill bits, and even if you went down to like a 1.5mm drill bit, the problem is because they're so thin. If you look at this, like that's a 1.5mm drill bit, because they're so thin, you get a lot of flex. And it bends, and it obviously it struggles to struggles to find its own centre, whereas with this you can see it's got a nice strong, nice thick shank to it there, and the little 1.5 tip there, so it hasn't got any flex to it, so it's nice and rigid, and again that's the key to getting these drilled out nicely. If you try and do it just with a drill bit, then you will not get it in the centre. It will just keep on just bending and it'll go off centre, and it eventually just snaps the drill bit. So getting one of these is the key. So a centre drill for a lathe. This one's like a double-ended one. All right, so there's the little piece in there. Now I've actually cut it in half. Reason being, the tap wasn't long enough to go right the way through the whole thing. As you can see, it's just not long enough. So cut it in half, just cut it on the bandsaw. Should just put this in the drill press and just clean that face up. So there we go. Let's clean that face off there. Yeah, I'll just put a little bit of lubricant on there, just in the, because brass is a little bit, it clogs up the tap a little bit. Good old Ballistol universal oil. I think I did this in one of the other videos that I made, but pretty much you can use it on everything there. Like it says metal, leather, plastic, wood, formica and fiberglass, and it's a lubricant, it's a cleaner, rust inhibitor, doesn't conduct electricity, biodegradable, emulsifies in water, not sticky or gooey, not harmful to skin, and it is dermatologically, I don't know how you say it, no, it's good, okay for your skin. So, but all round good product, this Ballistol, and it smells nice too, which is a bonus. Slowly go, it will kind of self-center itself again, so you know you don't have to be too precise, but as long as you just get it roughly in the middle, and then you know not tilting down like that, you can kind of eyeball it just to make sure you're where you want to be, and then just slowly go in, back it out, slowly go in. Once you get nearly all the way through, it's like there. That's it. Moment of truth. There we go. So that's drilled nicely, drilled and tapped. I've put this one in already. I've drilled that one and tapped it already. Screws in nicely, and you always want to make sure that the threads are like free and they're not binding up at all, because there's nothing worse than when you're coming to put the handle together, and you obviously got the epoxy around it as well, which makes it all slippery, and if these are binding up or the threads are tight, you just won't be able to screw them in and you end up struggling. So you want to make sure that they fit nice on the thread there, they're free, they spin up really easy. So there we go. Loveless bolt created in a drill press. So there we go, our little Loveless bolt build project all complete. Now it goes to show you can actually do them without a lathe. Obviously that would be two doves making baby doves out there at the moment. Just caught my eye. I don't know if I can zoom in on them. Oh, it's too slow. They flew off. I think they must have seen me moving in the workshop here, and they took off. I kind of started them mid act. I do like my little wildlife segments now and again, which just, you know, it's good to see that there's birds around out there and a little bit of wildlife here and there. Anyway, back to the Loveless bolt. This made me laugh, that it does. Made me chuckle. Just goes to show you can make them without a lathe. It's a little bit of fiddling around. As I said earlier, just take your time, set your drill press up nicely so everything's square, pick up a few bits and pieces. You can build yourself some Loveless bolts without a lathe. So hope this video was of some interest to everybody out there, and gets you out of trouble as it did with me. And I shall see you on the next video, which should be part 3 or part 4, I can't remember, of my knife build. Bushwood original knife build. So that will be the next video, but I've got a lot more editing to do on that. So this is just a quick video just about this. So hopefully it was of some interest, and I shall see you on the next video. Remember, like and subscribe, and I shall see you soon. Stay safe. Cheers. See ya.